Greetings, this is Charles McCall again with Mentoring Growing Leaders, and we're on a mini-series on leadership is making others successful, and we just started a three-part mini-series within this mini-series on successful work habits. And so if we're going to be successful, if we're going to be great, we have to create successful work habits ourselves, and for us as a leader, we have to empower our team, and we have to help them to become successful by teaching them and holding them accountable for successful work habits as well. And so we're looking at 12 successful work habits for ourselves and also to help us to equip our team so that they can be successful and we can all together rise up to a new level. And so the first one that I covered last class, last video is over-communicate. Number 2, be positive. Number 3, plan your work the night before and arrive at the office a little bit early. And number 4, use a calendar and a task list. And so going right into number 5, successful work habit, don't try to squeeze too much in one day. This used to be a terrible problem for me. My task list was gigantic. And so I would pile it in. Back-to-back appointments, you use from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock, boom, 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 back-to-back, absolutely full. Well, here's the key. If you haven't realized this yet, that is really unrealistic to do. Things just don't work out that way. You don't start on time, you don't end on time. Things overlap, people come in, different things happen, and it disrupts your whole schedule. It throws you off. And then if you end up being late for an appointment, you're showing disrespect to others. That should be a 13th successful work habit. Show up on time, be punctual. But don't try to squeeze too much in during one day. Someone said, I can't remember now, they said plan like 70 or 80% of your day. I think I recall them saying years ago, you should plan only 80% of your day. Leave 20% of your day open because things are going to come up. And if things come up, it's a surprise for you. And if you're full back-to-back, there's no way that you can do it. And so plan 80% of your day, leave 20% of it free. And here's another thing, allow extra time in between projects. And so our calendars, if we're using our phone, our calendars, you can adjust it, but they come automatically set either for 30 minutes or 1 hour appointments. And so if you set for an hour, you need to give yourself some space in between appointments. You have to do that. And so 10 minutes before or 10 minutes after, something like that, or a little bit of a break because you may be hot on doing something and you don't want to quit because you're on a roll. And so leave yourself some space in between your activities or in between your appointments. And the sixth one, that was number 5, the sixth one is schedule planning time. Put it into your calendar. This is my hour, this is my 60 minutes to plan. And so you put it at the beginning of each week. For me, I prefer to do this at the beginning of each week. I prefer to do that at the beginning of each day. Some people like to do it at the end of the day, and I've given you advice that you can do a little outline at the end of the day, but you spend an hour at the beginning of the week, if at all possible, and you just schedule it in. Every week, it's there in your calendar or your phone, and you have an appointment. You can't meet anybody. You don't do anything else. You schedule your time for planning at the beginning of the week, or if you're going to do it on a daily basis. And number 7, use downtime to think, read, plan, or relax. Downtime. What is downtime? You're taking a taxi someplace. You're taking a bus someplace. You're going for an appointment and you have to wait. And so for me, there's got to be wasted time. For some people, it's wasted time. They're playing with social media or they're playing with games on their phone. That's not necessarily a bad thing to do if that's what you intend to do. But for me, I would go to an appointment. It would be a doctor's appointment, dentist appointment, or meeting with another person, and go to a restaurant, and I know I'm going to have to wait, or they show up late. I would always, before the digital days, I would always bring a book with me, and I still do. I'll bring a book or a magazine with me, or an article, stuff it in my bag. And so my intent, while I'm waiting for the bus, while I'm in the taxi, while I'm waiting for my appointment, I'll read a little bit. I will take advantage of that dead time. Or you may want to play a game. You may want to use it as a time to relax and to free your brain up, or you may want to use it to plan, or you may want to use it as a time to read or to think. But the point is, use that time. Don't just let it drift off into outer space and eternity never to be captured. And so use your downtime. And again, now, the positive and negative, we have our phone, we have the internet. And so I can go on YouTube and I can watch an informative video in 15 minutes, or I can watch an educational or a funny video to lighten me up, to loosen me up. But use the time. We call it downtime. Okay, and so these are 3 that we've shared. Don't try to squeeze too much into one day and allow extra time between projects. Number 6, schedule planning time. Number 7, use downtime to think, read, plan, or relax. Number 8, prepare what you need. And so think ahead. What am I going to need for this project? What am I going to need for today? What am I going to need for this appointment? Have you ever gone to an appointment and you've forgotten critical information or a file or something that is really important that is necessary for you? That, my friend, is the result of lack of planning, of lack of taking the time to think through. So you think through your projects, you think through what you need to do, and then you gather your resources. You have your assistant or a helper gather the resources, do the research, whatever is necessary. And so that, again, that should go into your schedule. That takes time to do that. And so you're going to have to figure out, am I going to do it on my way to work, on my way home, during my lunch hour, my scheduled time off, before lunch or after lunch, to go buy what I need, or to prepare my desk, or to prepare the documents. And so you prepare what you need to do what you need to do. Okay, so this is the next 4. And so we'll continue with the final 4 the next time that we meet. Again, my name is Charles McCall, Mentoring Growing Leaders. I want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel, like the video, click the bell, and send the link to somebody else if you think it's going to be helpful. And my notes, you'll see them below, growingleaders75@gmail.com. Be happy to send you my notes if you're not taking notes yourself. Thank you, and great success in your leadership journey.